Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. I'm Joe Clabro, fresh off of caddying 27 holes today at the Kirkbride 4-Day. And joining me remotely from places unknown is Rich Capali, as always. Rich, how are you doing today? On this
not too bad.
Thursday.
Had a nice day off. Kind of mad I didn't play golf today. I left the house and it was absolutely gorgeous out. So yeah, I'm a little mad about that. But other than that, I got a nice early tee time tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow will be just as nice.
Now, before we get into some of our content, we don't usually promote our own golf games on the show because no one really gives a crap, to be honest. But when we but when we win something, we're going to promote the hell out of it. And my guy over there, Rich, he won a bag last week, last Saturday, I believe, at the King. So, Rich, congrats on the victory. Yep. Obviously, I already talked to you, congratulated you in private. But you want to talk about the big win, the intensity of it? You get the juices flowing? How nervous were you? What was it like? How was it?
No, it was actually we played well. I shot an 87 on my own ball. So with my high handicap, I mean that's pretty much a win in most competitions. But my brother-in-law played lights out again. I think he shot like a 73 or a 74 on his own ball. So combine that, it's almost unstoppable. We ended up playing in a playoff for a little extra cash, but the big thing is I'm on the wall with my dad and Kevin for member championship. So that's when you walk by the bathroom, you'll see mine and Joe's name on the wall. So it was fun. Great day. Lots of fun. Played with my dad and Donnie. So that was always good. Pretty much we beat them nice. Even though the cart match was close, on the leaderboard, we beat them nice. So all in all, it was a great day. Great weekend, actually. I ended up going to New Hampshire for the NASCAR race the next day. So it was a great weekend. So, but I appreciate the congratulations.
Yes. And then next time I go to King, I want to make sure I go to that nameplate and spin on it, just for you. Anyway, congrats. I just wanted to throw that out there. Jason Smith says playoff hole and everything. Yep, playoff hole and everything. Tina, thanks for watching.
It was crazy.
Sorry, go ahead.
It was crazy. It was crazy because I hit my best drive of the day on the playoff hole, and I was let's just say I had a few cocktails in me before I hit the shot. So
naturally,
hit a beautiful baby cut right down the left side of the fairway, right into the middle, and then I was actually on for par, but my partner ended up sealing the deal with a nice little cuddle up putt. So. But yeah, all in all, it was a good weekend.
Now, was the playoff hole the first hole, or did you replay 18, or what was the playoff hole?
18 from the back tees.
Wow. Oh, good.
Yeah. So if we went to another hole, it would have been 18 from the front, and then we would have went 18 the back, front, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it was crazy. I hit my best drive of the day on the playoff hole. It's crazy.
Interesting. Jason Smith is claiming that he was there. He said you crushed the drive. Your dad coming in hot, calling you a sandbagger right off the jump. So you can talk to him about that.
I knew he was good. I knew he was going to be present for this show just for that reason.
So there you have it. So congrats to Rich, and hopefully more tournament wins to come for you. Always exciting to win a tournament at any level. So speaking of that, quickly recapping obviously last year's RA Amateur, because that gets us into the New England Amateur. Congrats to Bobby Leopold on winning the tournament. It was a fun, it was a long week. I was exhausted from being at Kirkbride as much as I love being at Kirkbride. It was quite exhausting. But it was a long week. But Leopold won the RA Amateur against Andrew O'Leary. He finished 15th at the New England Amateur over in Connecticut. So congrats to him. Two good weeks in a row. He was in first place in the New England Amateur after round one, and he kind of fell back. I don't know much about the course in Connecticut, but congrats to Bobby on a great stretch.
What's the name of the course?
Great River Golf Club in Connecticut.
Great River Golf Club?
Correct. So that's what the New England Amateur was today, or was held the last 3 days. Today was the final day. A bunch of Rhode Island guys made the cut. Tyler Cook finished tied for 23rd, or finished 23rd rather, and Tommy McCormick was in the mix, and Austin Seeley was in the mix. So a couple of Rhode Island guys in there, but Bobby Leopold had the highest finish. My biggest takeaway from the RA Amateur, two things. One, golf related. Two, Golf News RI related. Golf News RI related. It was really cool throughout the week, the amount of people that I don't know these people that came up to me, whether I was sitting at the bar writing or I was out on the golf course, came up to me and introduced themselves and said, what a great job Golf News RI does and what a great job I'm doing and whatever, and covering all the stuff and how they appreciate all the work we're putting into it. So that was really cool. And again, these people that I don't even know. I don't know who these people are. They just randomly come up to me. Obviously, I had my Golf News RI hat on all week, so that probably was easy to spot. But so that was really cool. Two, on the finals match, obviously the whole week was a mess because of the weather, but they got it in. And on the finals match, I just wish it was a closer match. Nothing you can do about it. Obviously, Bobby played tremendous. He played lights out most of the week. So I just wish it was a closer match. And for Andrew O'Leary, great kid. It was fun getting to know him through the RA Amateur Series podcast and then through the week. Hopefully it's not his last RA Amateur. I don't know what the situation is with the World Amateur Golf Rankings and all this stuff. But hopefully he keeps coming back. He said he likes to play, and he puts a lot of stock into the Rhode Island Amateur. He puts a lot of stock into it. Obviously, Wagger doesn't put any stock into it. But unfortunately, I just wish it was a better match. And hopefully for Andrew, and hopefully for golf fans in Rhode Island, hopefully that's not his last RA Amateur. There was some talk that it could be, depending on what the situation is. So those are my two takeaways from the amateur. Rich, I don't know if you wanted to weigh in on any of that. I know you were there on Friday, helping me out a little bit, but I don't know if you want to have any RA Amateur thoughts to wrap that up and then move on.
No, it was a good day. It was hot, but it was a good day. Like I always say when we watch the amateurs play, it's just insane, like how different the game is, and not how easy it is, but how easy it seems to us. Like the effortless swings and that putt that Bobby made on 9, that bomb against John was just like my jaw dropped. That was just like effortless. Just read it, rolled, and absolutely drained it. It was awesome. Seeing these guys hit off the tee, hitting into 16 with their approach shots. Some of them hitting the green, putting for eagles. Some of them hitting it short and snuggling it up. And just overall, it was a good week. And you did a great job. I know you were there for six days, and but yeah, it was a good tournament. Sad to see that it's not at Kirkbride every year because it's just such an easy venue to cover. But yeah, definitely looking forward to next year seeing the boys play again.
Absolutely looking forward to next year's RA Amateur. Already planning coverage of it. Well, not really, but it's always in the back of your mind. So we'll see what next year brings. I think it's at Wanamatanami next year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think that's where it is next year. The women's amateur is at Wanamatanami this week, and that's the final is going to be tomorrow. Joel Bassett says, I was only able to get there for a short while early in the week, but the coverage was tremendous, and being able to follow remotely made it a lot of fun. Great job, Joe. Thank you, Joel. It was good to see you on. I think he was there on Tuesday. So good to see you on Tuesday. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a long week because all the rain and all the delays and stuff going on. So it was a longer week than probably it should have been. But it was still a lot of fun. And like I said, it was at my home course, so that made it easy. It wasn't that big of a deal. So there's that. So that's the Rhode Island Amateur. Thanks to everybody for following along. As I said in the Facebook post on Sunday night or whenever I posted it. Thanks to everybody for following along. It was a lot of fun, and looking forward to next year. And quickly, actually, while we're on that topic, because I know I posted about it and I texted him personally about it. I just have to give a shout out to a fan of the show, Mike Hamilton, because on Saturday, I think, I'm trying to remember I think on Saturday, he pretty much gave us the one of the shots of the year of forever at Kirkbride. It was one of the coolest Kirkbride moments I've ever been a part of. On 18, he's down near the water, near the green, and he has to chip it in to tie the hole because Andrew O'Leary was in there for birdie. And there's like 30 people standing around the green. Everybody else is up watching on the deck. Right? All Kurt Bay members, even Tommy McCormick came out from his lunch because he already won. Tommy came out to watch from the deck, and he friggin' chips it in. The place goes crazy. Everybody erupted. There was a huge roar, and I texted him, afterwards because he ended up losing in a 3-hole playoff. He lost on the 21st hole to Andrew O'Leary, and I texted him afterwards. I said, "I know you're down because you lost and stuff, and obviously it sucks, but that was one of the coolest Kurt Ray moments I've ever been a part of. And I've been at Kurt Ray for a long time, so shout out to Mike Hamilton on a great run, and again, it's one of the coolest Kurt Ray moments I've ever seen." Hopefully there'll be more of that soon, but it was unbelievable. Anyway, quickly to the women's amateur finals tomorrow, and it's kind of two players that no one really, well, maybe Addie Douglas was a 2 seed. She's a great player out of Newport Country Club, but I don't think anybody saw Emily Brooks making it. Emily Brooks upset Vinnie Papa, who was a top seed. Vinnie Papa, who we talk about a lot on Golf News RI. She nearly set the course record at Wanamatanami. She missed it by one shot. She shot a 72, which there is one under par. So I guess the course record is not too low at Wanamatanami. And she missed it by one shot. She won the medalist honors, obviously, but she lost in the second round. Match play to Emily Brooks. So Emily Brooks, who's from Wanamatanami, she plays Addie Douglas tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. And so that should be a great match. And then there's actually in the women's division, there's a net division championship. If there was a net division championship on the men's side, I think Rich and I might have a chance to win.
Possibly.
But we can play the net right on the amateur. Somebody has to give us 20 shots. Yeah. Some poor loser has to give us shots. So on the net side, a cool story. Nancy O'Neill is one of the 2 players in the net division championship. She plays Jane Lippencourt tomorrow at 7:40. Okay, Nancy O'Neill, get this, is 80 years old.
What?
No joke.
Holy
Nancy O'Neill,
crap.
in the net, she's playing in the net net women's amateur tomorrow. She's 80 years old.
Crazy.
And she's in the net women's championship. So just to tell you that golf is truly ageless. It's a great story. Obviously, the net division doesn't get a ton of coverage.
That's absolutely crazy.
We're in that same boat. We cover the Gross and we cover the Papa sisters and the great Addie Douglas and the great players in the Gross division. But a cool story in the net division. Nancy O'Neill, 80 years old, playing for a title tomorrow morning. So just keep that in mind when you're playing golf. That an 80-year-old is in the finals of the women's amateur. How you doing?
That's awesome. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, those tee times are 7:30 a.m. for the championship division and 7:40 a.m. for the net division at Wanamatanami. So there is that, and we'll have coverage of that for you as well. So I did mention that I'm coming off of the 4-day or day 2 of the 4-day at Kirkbride, the big 4-day member guest. So super exciting stuff there. And I don't know who's winning the other divisions. I know that my dad and his partner, Peter Romano, are winning their division with 1 day of matches left to play, just tomorrow, and then Saturday, is the medal play and hopefully the championship round. So it's been a great 2 days. It was supposed to rain yesterday, so they moved the tee times up, and it never ended up raining. So maybe finally the weather pattern is changing at for the summer. We're finally missing some of these storms that were supposed to be hitting us. And so shout out to everybody at Kirkbride for the 4-day. Hope we all have are partying hard tonight. I know there was a concert. There's a Tom Petty tribute band tonight. There's a Travis Matthew truck. All kinds of stuff. It's quite an event. And my dad's partner comes in from Connecticut to play, and he's like, "This is like the greatest thing I've ever been a part of." And he's only been here for a day. So see what happens the rest of the week. But so that's super exciting, and we'll have a recap of the 4-day on Saturday afternoon or so. Hopefully, there's another epic finish like last year, where Nick Boulis's partner chipped it in to win the whole tournament on 18. So I don't know if I don't know if it'll be anything epic like that, but we'll find out. So that's kind of local stuff. Obviously, after the amateurs, things kind of slow down, um, and we have the stroke play coming up at Alpine. We have a few other things. Obviously, the club championships are starting. I know the Tricks Club Championship is on Saturday. Juan Amato, who's won it like 3 years in a row or something. He's in the lead. The Tricks Club Championship, they don't do match play, which is weird because I think Tricks would be a fun course to play match play on. They do they do a medal play situation. So Juan is the favorite to win that. And then I know the Kirkbride Club Championship starts in a week or two, whatever it is. And the other club championships are going on as well. Kings Crossings Club Championship is going to be coming up, right? It's going to be in the.
Yeah, we're round robin play right now. Just getting the what are we in quarter, like the group play set up right now. So I'll when I go there tomorrow, I'll actually take a picture of the bracket as it stands right now. I think we're in probably like the quarterfinals right now. And obviously we have net and gross. So I didn't do it just because I have my job. I can't be bothered with trying to set matches up and stuff like that. I can only play 3 days a week, and nobody ever seems to want to play those days, so I just don't even bother.
Yeah, the way you guys do it is weird. You got to make it on.
I'm trying to get them to do it like all in one weekend, or two like 2 Saturdays or something like that, so people can actually take time out of work and do it. But I mean, it's just tough. It's tough trying to schedule matches with people, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it can be tricky, especially at a public course like that, where people are kind of all over the place. A place like Kirkbride or an Alpine or probably even want to voice it, or any clubs or a lot of clubs, it's probably different because for us it's a private club. You know everybody, and some guys probably your place are probably signing up for the club championship. You probably never heard of them.
Dude, me and my dad were looking. Me and my dad, and my brother-in-law, we were looking at the bracket. We were looking at the bracket, and we didn't know like over half of the names. So it was like I don't know how to get in contact with these people or anything. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna play.
That's all right. You can caddy for me.
Yeah, I got you.
So the club championships are starting. Last summer we covered every club championship in the state. I'm fairly certain, and we're hopefully going to try to do the same this summer. We'll get the results sent to us, or I'll find them, or a combination of the two, and we'll get them posted as soon as possible. So a really exciting time in local club golf, obviously, with club championship starting. It's a fun time of year, and obviously some of the other member guests are happening. Alpine's 3 days coming up. I think either next weekend or the weekend after that. It's always it's usually the week after Kirkbraid's 4-day, but I'm not sure when exactly it is this year. So that's exciting stuff as well. So other local things going on. There hasn't been a ton, like I said. The amateurs kind of take a precedent, and so there's a few little things, but nothing crazy. So with that, we're going to take a commercial break in 10 minutes, but I do want to kick into PGA Tour stuff because I know you were following the PGA Tour today a little bit, and we can also get into some of the Olympics. And I do have an interesting question, or I think it's an interesting question, comparing the Olympics to Ryder Cup. But let's start with the PGA Tour 3M Championship. I know as a surprise leader, I didn't see any of it today. Again, I was caddying, but I hear that Ricky Fowler, who is actually in the lead. Where the heck did he come from? Maybe this is his breakthrough moment, but apparently he's fixed his problems for now until the weekend, at least.
Yeah, no, he played well today. He started off on the back, carded a 7 under 64 for the day. Course was playing a little wet. They had a 2-hour delay in the mid-afternoon, just as Golf Channel was picking up coverage. The delay ended just at I think it was 3 o'clock. Yeah, course was soft. It was gettable. Yeah, he was rolling the ball really good, hitting tee shots really well. Irons were good. So I mean, hopefully he can get a win and kind of turn things around. Get back into the winning ways because he's going to miss a lot of stuff if he doesn't win. Um, but yeah, let me do a quick rundown. Obviously, Fowler and Troy Merritt are tied at 7 under. Most of these are final. Most of the big guys, anyways, are final. We got some of the guys flew over from the Open. Nick Watney's 4 under. Let's see what we got. Louis Oosthuizen, another third place finish in a major. Not to drive that stake in your heart again, Joe, but I had to say that.
Actually, while you're
He's
actually
at 3
while
under.
you're there, as I meant to. No, and this has nothing to do with Louis Oosthuizen. While you're there,
Okay.
talking about the Open, let's just go backwards for a minute. 'Cause I actually meant to do this and I completely forgot. I'm trying to multitask here. But what did you think of the Open? What do you think of Colin Morikawa's win? And obviously
Just
Spieth
one word.
finished second. But what do you think
Yeah,
of the Open?
one word. One word for Colin Morikawa. Masterful performance the whole weekend. Just masterful. Didn't make any mistakes on Sunday, if at all, the whole weekend. Just an absolute clinic on ball striking, putting. What's it called? Concentration. I know a lot of the tour guys didn't like the course. It was very, very, very hilly and undulating on the fairways. And who would have known that Southern England was 75 and sunny for 4 straight days. They were going into this thinking that, traditional
Right.
Open, it was link style. It's going to be blowing 25, 30 miles an hour. They're going to be dodging raindrops and sideways rain and all that crap. It was 75 and sunny the whole damn week.
Right.
So you got like
That was
patrons,
unbelievable.
you got like patrons. You got patrons in the background with their taking their shirts off. It's like this is unheard of for England at any time, let alone for an Open championship.
You know what's
So,
funny? You know what's
um,
funny? So I was at the you'll laugh at this. So I was at the, obviously, as you know, I was at the amateur all week basically, and I literally was like walking with people, various people, and and the weather was crappy and it was rainy and we were in and out and the course was soggy.
We
and-
basically got
Yeah.
their weather.
So,
We
so I
got
was
their weather
saying,
that week.
so
It
I
was
was saying,
crazy.
so I was saying, I said, how is it that the British Open has better weather than we do? The British Open is like
It's
miserable to
insane.
watch. It's miserable just
Oh, yeah,
watching the
it's
British
terrible.
Open. It was
Yeah,
unbelievable. So,
so
anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
a lot of as TV fans, we kind of got screwed because it was like it was like a perfect weekend. We're used to like carnage, like I said, the crappy weather, the cold raw conditions, but it ended up being 75 and sunny almost the whole week. So, and not to mention that the players didn't really like the course for various reasons. But I mean, just an absolute masterful performance. I mean, you got to think if Morikawa screws up twice, Spieth's tied for the lead, and who knows what happens after that. But he bit down, and it was just a great performance by him. I'm happy for him. I think he's won 2 out of he's played in 10 majors, and I think he's won 2 of them. So that's a pretty good ratio right there. Especially for some guys, some journeyman guys who haven't even sniffed a title, a major. He's already got 2, and I think he's 24 or 23, something like that. He's under 25. So definite hats off to him on that performance.
Yeah, and I think he's the first player since Tiger to win 2 majors
Yep.
after playing in them for the first time. Something like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
pretty unbelievable. And obviously, he does have I'm always looking for the local connection. I know it's annoying, but he did win the Northeast Amateur back in 2017 or 2018, whatever year it was, when he was at UC, when he was just some random kid from UCLA. And it was funny, like you saw it, and we talked about this. Is like when we were at the Northeast Amateur, and everyone was like, "Oh, who's going to be the next Colin Morikawa?" and this, whatever. And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Nobody knew who the hell Colin Morikawa was when he was here."
No.
So
It's like, I knew him when he was at the amateur. Get out of here. Nobody knew who he was.
So it's kind of funny, which is the beauty of that tournament. It's like you don't know what these guys are going to turn into be, but everyone's like, "Oh, who's going to be the next Colin Morikawa?" And I'm like, "You didn't know, no one knew who Colin Morikawa was. He was just some kid from UCLA. UCLA is like not even
Right.
barely a golf school. They're just now becoming kind of a
Yeah.
golf school." So it was kind of funny anyway. But at least, like I said, it's annoying, but I'm always looking for the local connection, and he did win the Northeast Amateur. So congrats to Colin Morikawa, great performance at the British Open. We have people chiming in from the Kurt Bray 4-day. Actually, it's not that bad. Peter Amano, who was my dad's partner, says that we had a tremendous caddy today. I don't know who that was. They must have had some other caddy.
It wasn't you. It definitely wasn't you.
My dad says that he has a great partner. And Peter says, Kurt Bray has the best 3-4 day member guest I have ever been to. And he's only been here for 2 days. So that's pretty good. So anyway, shout out to everybody at Kurt Bray and the 4-day. I don't know what time the concert is starting, but pay attention to that. Actually, pay attention to us first and then pay attention to the concert. Thanks. So on that note, I want to hit the commercial break real quick. When we come back, we'll finish the PGA Tour segment. I know I interrupted Rich's rundown of the leaderboard. There's some interesting names on it. Then I also want to get into the Olympics and that versus the Ryder Cup and a few other news and notes from around the golf world. So let's hit the commercial break, and we'll be right back. This is the Golf Dudes Podcast. Stay tuned. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armen Keteyian. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
Welcome back to the Golf Dudes Podcast. Joe Calabro alongside, virtually alongside Rich Capali. And before I went to break, we were just recapping some of the local stuff. Women's Amateur tomorrow. The New England Amateur ended today. Bobby Leopold finished 15th, just out of the money. But he's had obviously a great 2-week stretch of golf. So good for him, and we'll see where he goes with it next. I'm not sure what his next tournament is, but we'll certainly be following it. Meanwhile, some of the college kids are off to the Western Amateur. I know that's taking place in the next week or so, and so we'll keep track of that as well. We want to get back into some of the PGA Tour stuff, but certainly if you have comments or questions or whatever on the local stuff, continue to fire away. Thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. I know it's a busy time for a lot of people, parties and vacations and golf tournaments and other things. So thanks for tuning in. Quickly back to the PGA Tour. You were going through the leaderboard. I rudely interrupted you just because I wanted to get back to the Open for a second before I forgot. So Ricky Fowler's in the lead you mentioned. Why don't you finish going over some of the notable names before I interrupted you, and then we'll get into some of that stuff.
All right, so most of these guys, well, the guys we care about are final right now. Like I said, Ricky's at 7 under. Louis is final at 68, 3 under. Let's go down this thing. Jason Duffner 3 under. Jimmy Walker 3 under. Doug Gim 3 under. Let's see. Come on. Gary Woodland 2 under. Steve Stricker 2 under. Stuart Sink 2 under. Dylan Fratelli 2 under. Matt Kuchar 2 under. Dustin Johnson 1 under. He had his struggles. He was actually 1 over. I think he was 1 over going into like 15 or 16, and ended up getting into the negative numbers there, which is nice. Sergio, he had a day. I watched a little bit of his round, but it was a good threesome there. It was Sergio. Sergio, Bubba, and Dustin and DJ. I think that was an interesting watch. What else we got? We've got.
How about what happened to Scott Stallings today? That was incredible. That was unbelievable. He got robbed.
Yeah, it was crazy. He got robbed, man. He was
So for those that don't know, Go tell that story. 'Cause you were following it. You just told me about it. So
Yeah.
it's just fascinating.
Yeah, so Scott Stallings was on 18, which is a par five. Tee shot. You got to hit your tee shot left because there's a huge pond to the right after the woods. So he pipes his drive. He needs an eagle to beat the course record. So he was probably about 200 out from his drive. He hits his I don't know what it was, but he hits his second shot. Carries the pond, hits a rock that was in the pond, and it bounces backwards into the water, probably about like 30 yards. And I think he ended up with a 64 for the day, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he went from almost taking the course record to going one over on it. So that was definitely an unlucky break. Like I said, Matthew Wolf, 1 under, Snedeker, 1 under, JT Poston, 1 under, Keith Mitchell, 1 under. Let me try and get through this real quick. There's a lot of guys on here. Let's see. Hunter Mahan, your boy, even through 12. Bubba, 1 over, final. Tony Finau, 1 over. Pat Perez, 1 over. Patrick Reed, 1 over. Lanto Griffin, 1 over. Let me see if there's any other big names that are at the bottom. Harry Higgs, 2 over. Come on. And that's pretty much it. Sang Moon Bay, he actually withdrew. That was a notable name from a couple of years ago. But yeah, it was a decent field considering that it's the week after a major, especially an overseas major. So that's your 3M leaderboard as of now.
Interesting. It should be an interesting tournament. Like you said, it's surprisingly a good field. I think it'd be a huge kick in the nuts to me if Louis Oosthuizen somehow wins this week. Wouldn't that be like the worst thing ever? Like the guy chokes in three straight majors, and then he wins the useless 3M
He's
Open,
got like
whatever the hell it's called.
30 top 10s in majors or something. No, it's not that much, but there's not the numbers in majors are just insane.
Well, he has 6 second place finishes in majors. You know how Phil Mickelson has 6 second place U.S. Open finishes?
Oh, yeah.
I
think
he's
got something like 20 top 10s.
Yeah, probably, something like that.
So, he's got like 20 top 10s or something like that.
So I will be pissed if Louis Oosthuizen pulls one out of his ass this week. You can't win the British Open or any other major that you play in, but you win the useless 3M Open that no one has any time for. So anyways, that's what we have going on in the PGA Tour front. Hasn't been a ton of PGA Tour coverage on the website. Just been busy with obviously the local stuff, but don't worry, we'll get back to it soon enough because golf season's almost over. The other thing that's going on, which I don't understand why it's going on, is the Olympics. I'm not a big Olympics fan. I'm not going to lie. It's not really my thing. I like Olympic hockey. I get into that because, USA Hockey and American on Ice and that whole thing. So I always have a thing for Olympic hockey. But other than that, I really don't have any time for it. It's kind of a waste of time. I don't know why they're trying to do it this year in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, we're not in a pandemic anymore, but Japan certainly is, from what I read about it. So I don't understand what's going on there, but there is golf in the Olympics. This is the second time that golf has been in the Olympics, obviously back in 2016, I want to say. In Rio, there were Olympics. Mm-hmm. So I want to get into the Olympic discussion in a minute, but the TV schedule is actually pretty favorable, especially for me who stays up late. But it's also kind of confusing. But anyway, so I guess all of this can be seen on Golf Channel. That's what I'm reading. So this whole thing is on Golf Channel. So round 1 of the Olympic golf men's starts Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. and it goes to 3 a.m. So
really?
That's pretty favorable schedule for me. I stay up till all hours of the night. So I'm actually really excited about this. So
that's prime time golf, baby. Let's go.
So Wednesday, July 28th, mark it down. 6:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. is the first round. The second round is Thursday, July 29th. Obviously, the next days, 6:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. again. The whole thing is 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. The final round is Saturday. Again, it's Sunday over there, I guess. The final round is Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. So that includes the medal ceremony, according to Golf Channel. So
Nice.
primetime golf for the Olympics. So I guess that's exciting. Nothing better than primetime golf. Again, 6:30 p.m. local time, and it goes till 3 a.m. starting next Wednesday through Saturday, according to the article I'm reading on Golf Channel. So that's a good thing. Again, I stay up late writing and working, and sometimes I just stay up late just to stay up late. So I'm excited. That's one thing to be excited for. For you, just in general, as we get into the Olympics, obviously the U.S. team is Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas. Who are the other two guys? I can't remember offhand.
Schauffele and DeChambeau.
Schauffele and DeChambeau. Oh, DeChambeau. What stupid thing is DeChambeau going to do at the Olympics? We can only guess.
And Patrick Cantlay is the first reserve.
Oh, so if they kick DeChambeau out, is what you're saying?
Yeah, no shit.
For being an idiot.
Yeah.
So, so a couple of things on the Olympics. One, what do you think of the U.S.'s chances? What do you think of how these guys are playing going into it? Obviously, I mean, Justin Thomas is kind of becoming a choke artist. I'm not going to lie. I know he had a great Players' Championship, but other than that, he hasn't done much. Is Colin Morikawa the favorite? Would you say he's the lead guy for the U.S.? I mean, Bryson DeChambeau seems like he's a mess. Xander Schauffele seems like a good player. I just don't have much faith in him as far as big moments. But what do you think?
I'm still gonna say it's JT and Morikawa. Maybe Morikawa ahead of JT right now, but yeah, I think those are the two. And I mean, Schauffele can play too. It all depends, and with DeChambeau, it depends on how the course is laid out and what the just because he hits it insanely long. And hopefully he can keep us cool. But yeah, I think it's JT and Morikawa. I'm actually trying to find the other rosters. I think Sergio is not going.
John Rahm is playing for Spain, right?
John Rahm's playing for Spain, and also Rafa Cabrera Bello. Louis is not playing. Yeah, I can't find these. So a lot of these guys for England aren't playing either. Tyrrell Hatton, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Lee Westwood. They will be replaced by Paul Casey and Tommy Fleetwood. So that's nice. That's a couple good PGA guys that are going to be there. Oh, here we go, right here. Duh. Let's see. Cameron Smith and Mark Leishman are going to play for Australia. That's going to be cool. Let's see what else. Come on.
There's going to be a lot of players that we don't know. There's going to be a lot of players that we don't know.
Corey Connors and Mackenzie Hughes are going to play for Canada. Let's see.
Joaquin Niemann
that
playing for
Chile.
Chile.
Sebastian Munoz for Colombia. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to go through this as quick as I can.
All right. Well, don't worry about it. Don't waste dead air here. To me, like I said, I'm not an Olympic person.
Go. I got the whole thing.
I'm not an Olympics person, but I'll obviously watch the golf. But for you,
I'm looking at the main roster right now. It's actually not that bad. Obviously, you don't have the big stars like DJ and stuff like that, but it's actually not that bad.
No, there's some good players in there for sure. Molinari,
yeah,
like you mentioned, John Rahm. Obviously there's a lot of players that no one's ever heard of, but that's kind of how it goes.
But no, I'm not an enormous Olympics guy, but obviously there's golf in there, so definitely gonna watch that, especially if it's right when I get home from work. It's gonna be awesome to watch some primetime golf. I'm always down for that. But yeah, Olympics in general, I mean, I'll throw it on if there's some crazy maybe like medal rounds or something like that or whatever. But other than that, I'm really not one sport I do like is like the beach volleyball. That's fun. That's real fun. But Victor Hovland's playing too. I just saw that, so that's cool. For Norway.
Here's the next question. Since neither of us are big Olympics persons, so I think I kind of already know the answer. But would you rather see a U.S. guy win the gold medal, or would you rather see U.S. win the Ryder Cup?
Oh, Ryder Cup. no doubt,
I thought
especially
so.
because
Me too.
we suck in the Ryder Cup. So, here's another interesting tidbit about the Olympics.
Mhm.
So, I think it's South Korea. South Korea, you have to do a mandatory 2-year stint in their armed forces.
Correct.
If you win if you win the gold, you forego that 2 years and you don't have to do it.
Right. Right. So Sung J M
So
and one other guy.
yeah, so like
There's
Sanjay
two guys.
M,
There's two
uh,
guys that are in that situation. Sung J M
and Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim. Yeah,
I
that's
think
correct.
Siwoo Kim already did. I think Siwoo Kim already did his 2 years, but they actually Sanjay M actually didn't play in the Open because he wanted to get ready for the Olympics. Like he don't want to do his 2 years military duty. But I thought that was not funny, but I thought that was an interesting tidbit of how crazy some of these countries are.
Oh yeah, I remember reading that. I forgot who said that, but I remember reading something about that. That's why neither of them played in the Open, and that's why.
Yeah.
So they're practicing for
Yeah.
the Olympics. So it should be interesting. Obviously, I'm excited to see what the course looks like. Remember, we looked it up like a bunch of weeks ago or whatever, and it actually looked like pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it
Yeah.
plays and what it looks like. And obviously, golf in prime time is going to be a lot of fun. So that's definitely something to be excited about. But I'm kind of with you. You know, I'd rather see the U.S. win the Ryder Cup, but putting way more stock into the Ryder Cup than I am, the Olympics. Obviously, it'd be great to see the U.S. guy win it, obviously, but that's not that important to me. So that's
And
kind
then
of
the women are actually August 4th through 7th. I'm actually interested to see what the rosters look like for the women too.
Mhm.
But we can get into that maybe next week for like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it should be
And
interesting.
Rory and Shane Lowry are playing too. So yeah, it ain't gonna be bad. It's gonna be fun.
Oh no, it'll be fine. I mean, the golf is golf. It'll be fine. I'm just not a big Olympic person in general, so I don't get
No.
that excited about it. But I mean, golf is golf. Roy McIlroy is Roy McIlroy. Oh, he's playing. Oh, good. I thought there was something
Yeah,
where he said he wasn't
didn't
going to
play.
play or something, but maybe he is. I guess he
He
is.
didn't
Obviously.
play in the 16 Olympics.
Nice. All right. Well, it sounds like you needed to go to sleep. So
No, I'm good.
I know Pat has a show coming up at 9 o'clock. I don't know who he has on, but the producer tells me that he has a show. So so tune in for that if you want. Rich, what's your you're golfing tomorrow early morning? You're playing again Sunday. When's your next big tournament? What's on your golf docket?
Nothing. Like you said, I got tomorrow and Sunday. I'm actually not sure when the next tournament is. I'm sure it's in a couple weeks, but yeah, definitely want to play in more of these tournaments that we had on Saturday. It's a good time. Get the competitive juices going aside from the old boring cart matches that we have on Sundays. So props to Peter Walsh, our boy, for putting on an awesome tournament.
Absolutely. So I'll be at the Kirkbride 4-Day the next 2 days. See if we can bring home a championship of some sort. And then after that, I'll be trying to focus on my own golf a little bit because we have the Kirkbride Club Championship starting at the end of July and then into August. So that's kind of the plan. Be sure to stay tuned to Golf News Ride for all coverage of the club championships. Like I said, last year we posted the results of every single one in the state. And the plan is to do that again this year. I know Triggs Club Championship is Saturday. So we have the Triggs Club Championship. We have the Alpine Club Championship coming up. That started last week. It's obviously continuing this weekend. And then we have the 4-day results, and we have the Kirkbride Club Championship shortly after that. So getting back into to our roots of Golf News RI and covering the local tournaments, which is what most people want. And that's what the next month is going to be, pretty much, other than a few statewide events sprinkled in, and obviously some PGA Tour stuff sprinkled in. But other than that, very local stuff. Mostly the rest of the summer. So it should be a real exciting time for golf at the local clubs, and looking forward to covering all that stuff. And again, hopefully see a lot of you at the 4-day over the next 2 days, and hopefully we'll be playing in the championship division on Saturday because the other division is brutal. So we'll see you then. I'm going to get off the air. Derek Odette, thanks for tuning in. a little late, but you can watch the replay. Don't worry. Never fear. And so anyway, unless Rich, you have anything else, I'm going to wrap up the show, and we will talk to you next Thursday, and then see what's going on. We'll obviously talk about some Olympics, because the Olympics will be going on apparently while we're on the air. So enjoy the weekend. Play some great golf. Congrats to Rich again on winning last week, and we will talk to you all soon. This has been the Golf Dudes